coaches and pros, the X's and O's. This is the best we do, what we know. So let's go. Yo, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. It has started the craziness. And hold on. Let me get the light right. It is crazy what's cracking with everybody up out there, man. Hey, it's going down. It done went down. It done went down. It's crazy. Ohio State has dropped out of. And look, I don't know if they dropped out of the college football playoff. I don't know. I just don't know. And the crazy thing is Ohio State just lost to Michigan. Hey, shout out to Lawrence with a U. Shout out to Lawrence with a U. What up, bro? What up? Wherever you may be listening to this late, live, whenever you listening to this, Lawrence with a U, shout out to you, bro. Y'all went into the shoe and y'all pulled off an amazing upset. I think a lot of people figured that something crazy like this would happen. I think a lot of people figured that a lot of people figured that something crazy might happen. I mentioned it. I don't want to take full credit for saying that I knew that Michigan was going to beat Ohio State. What I said was that's the last game, and to get tricky, we done seen crazy things happen in college football. That's what I did say about that game. Now I didn't say they was going to lose, because to be honest with you, I didn't take Michigan to win that game. I picked Ohio State to win that game. By the way, I must say that, and I must admit that I took them to win that game. I did not take Michigan to beat them. I took Michigan in the points, I believe. But overall, I would have picked Ohio State this morning had I came on and did my Saturday morning picks. I definitely would have took Ohio State to beat Michigan today at the shoe. And it didn't happen. It just didn't happen. We just, college football has been giving us such an incredible storyline throughout this whole entire year. This isn't just this game here that this has started. It has been going through the entire season. So for all my old school people out there that say I don't like the parity in college football, this is what it's given us. Games like this, late November, early December, right before the college football playoffs, a number 2 team gets knocked off by an unranked team. What they're very familiar. They are very familiar. That rivalry means every single thing to each and every fan base that's out there. It does not even matter. Michigan's record before this game did not matter. It don't matter no more. It's all is forgiven. Every loss that Michigan just took this year is forgiven. It's all forgiven by every Michigan fan out there. We beat Ohio State at the shoe. I don't give a fuck what you want to. 5 games go. We 6-5. It don't matter. We beat Ohio State. Oh, I don't know what's going on. Oh, technical difficulties. That's not on my part. That is on StreamYard's part. But that's crazy. They're like, all is forgiven? Yes, it is. And that's just what it is. So now when you see Michigan, Ohio State fan walking down the street, Michigan, y'all was trash. It don't matter. We beat y'all ass. And then Ohio State fans say, damn, how do you come back from that? You got now I got to get personal. It's just personal at that point. Because you lost. You just lost. You lost the game. That is wild. Not only that, I believe Clemson just lost to South Carolina. It's shaking up. You like it's college football being shaken up like the D boys on our block shooting dice out there shooting. It just like let me get it. Like, give me that. You hear me? It's man. Oh my goodness, man. This season is incredibly good. I'm loving the way that this season is going, man. I love the parody. I love it. And I must say, now that this 12-team format's in here, I don't think we need to go to 14 teams to switch gears. I don't think we need to go to 14 teams, y'all. For the simple fact, I don't think we need to go to 14 teams because it's just gonna make things worse. You know what I mean? It's really gonna make things worse. Now we're really getting in the area of teams that may have not really deserve to be where they're at, but they just got there because of a last second win or something like that. You know what I mean? And now you're getting in a territory where we're going to see blowouts, right? If you go into 14, like the top 10 to 12 is perfect, right? Because the top 10 teams, you could say, all right, and especially this year, you could probably say, okay, number 10 can maybe beat number 1 if they come in there and they play a mistake-free game in all 3 phases of the football game, right? And you looking at that. If you look at it, you're like, okay, you could take that, right? Number 11, they may be able to do it. You know what I mean? They may be able to get 4 or 5 out there if they play that way. So, but if we going into 13 and 14 range after number 12, like now it's getting dangerous. Now it's starting to get dangerous to the point where you like, okay, because it might be a tremendous drop off between the number 12 team and the number 14 team. And I say that sparingly, right? Because usually the top 10 teams in college football is this year, from what I have learned in the couple of years that I have been into college football and doing my research really on these teams, right? There's a significant drop off and a difference with these teams. Some teams can play all 3 phases of the game at an elite level or at a great level or at a good level. But then you start getting into that 12 to 15 range where they can play elite offense or elite defense, or they can play great special teams. They got a kicker who can kick it fucking 60-yard field goal, but their defense can't fucking swat a fly at the air. You know what I'm saying? So it gets a little tricky. It gets a little off and dangerous when you start getting into that range in football, in college football, I must say. But I look, I mean, I had to come live. I said, look, I'm going to go live and I'm going to see where my people's at. I haven't really been in the Discord. I haven't really been up in there. That's different. I jumped in there last week when I had, you know what I'm saying, to show people like, yeah, I had won a big bet or whatever on FanDuel. I don't think it was luck at all. I picked all the quarterbacks. I picked the picks. And but Jaden Daniels definitely did do me right, Washington. I thank him for that. That was a huge win for me. But by the way, FanDuel is now letting me keep my stat. Well, they keep everybody's stats, but I'm almost there where I'm gonna have to work something out with FanDuel. So shout out to FanDuel, man, because they're gonna be working on me in a second. But anyway, the switch gears, man, and to keep things where I'm going with this, right? I think we're seeing Clemson defeating South Carolina today, right? And I'm gonna check these scores while I'm live with y'all and live here and go through this, man, because whether I got 10, 5, 1, 2 people in here, I'm going to rock out and I'm going to give y'all my best ability. You hear me? It ain't never changed. So let me go to these let me get these scores pulled up on my regular site. And because this live games happening all over college football right now as we're speaking, and it's crazy right now. And it's just like I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I lost bread on that game, obviously not too much because I don't be betting all crazy. As y'all can see, if you was in the Discord, you see I don't bet all crazy. Maybe go over the leg parlays, but that's why I do 8, 9 leg parlays, because I'm only putting $4 to $6 on a bet and I'm winning it, you know what I mean, whatever I may win off of that. But and I just think that that's the smart way to go. But they're not letting me do that no more. They put a cap on me, so just by the way, I must speak. And I, but yeah, so this is the bet, y'all. I mean, the games that's on right now. Miami's already up 7-0 right now on Syracuse. And Syracuse at home. I kind of seen the determination on Cam Ward's face that he wasn't playing today. So I did take them Miami with under 11.5. So, giving Syracuse 11.5 points or whatever. And I also did take Syracuse the other way also. But man, oh, man, this just is crazy. I want to check on that game. Maryland is up on Penn State 7-0. Penn State always getting off the slow starts. That's crazy. I know Cliff is going crazy in his head right now. Shout out to Cliff, man, brother Cliff and everything. I know he's probably going crazy right now. Notre Dame and SC, that rivalry game right there, that means a lot. And they're not sleeping on them. And that's going to be a battle today. They 6.5 point favorite underdogs. You know what I'm saying? USC is, by the way. Colorado put the beats on Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State gave up. I think they ran the ball like 4 times. Ollie Gordon touched the ball 4 times for 10 yards in that game. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous, especially seeing how NFL caliber running backs have been getting loose on that team. But that's just ridiculous. Look, and I'm gonna keep it a buck, yo. If Mike Gundy was any other coach, y'all would be giving them hell right now. I know a lot of Oklahoma State fans is giving him heck right now, but look, I'm gonna keep it a buck. That team is a straight up disaster. Oklahoma State is a straight up disaster, and it's time to talk about it. Whether people want to talk about it or not, because we don't let certain people off the hook. We keep it a buck. That's what we do here on Sports with Chuck and Chubby, and a lot of other, co-parts and people who are in my circle or panels. We keep it a buck. We don't sugarcoat shit. We don't do it, right? I'm past the limit now. I think I could talk a little dirty, you know what I'm saying? But we keep it a buck. And what Oklahoma State got going on is some foul-ish. It's foul over there. There's no culture over there. They have not bothered. And the injuries that happened, it seemed like it discombobulated that whole team. But you can't blame that on just them quitting in a season. They have not won one conference game this entire year. They are 0-9 in the conference after being picked by professionals, Vegas, and everybody so forth to be third in the Big 12. I don't know what Mike Gundy is doing. I don't even know if his coaching tactics is actually working. But I'm gonna keep it a buck. There was a red flag at the beginning of the season. And I know we talk about sports here, but sometimes you just got to add the real up in things, man, and point things out. Because I tell you what, if it was a certain coach, everybody else should be talking about it like it's nothing else. But we just let shit slide like this. I don't know why, but I'm gonna talk about it because I think now it has something to do with a little bit of their season and the way things that were going. Anyhow, look about Mike Gundy and I think Ollie Gordon had some kind of charge at the beginning of the season, some DUI, something like that, got thrown out, boom, whatever. And he wasn't convicted of it or whatever the way that goes. But he let him off. He said, "I'm gonna just run him 50 times a game," and that's what he said simply. And that's cool. He kept it a buck and said what he wanted to say and everything else. But do we now see how that may have affected the whole team in the season? And like, okay, he gets no punishment for doing what he did, and now you think you're going to be able to hold a whole team together? And look, obviously the season's there, so now whether or not that's true what I'm saying, you can go back there and say that played a part of their horrible season, whether or not if it's true or not. They're 0-9 in the Big 12. They're 3-9 overall. They had at the beginning, at the preseason, Oklahoma State was looked at as being one of the veteran teams, bringing back all the returning production that they had. They just didn't bring back regular returning production and guys who stepped on the field for 2 or 3 plays. No, they brought back production of guys who were actually coming in there as seniors, guys who've been together for two or more years. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy. But they got stomped. They gave up. Colorado didn't, and Colorado put the beats on them. 52-0. 52-0. Period. That it don't get no worse. Don't get no worse. They didn't even want to put it. They couldn't even kick a field goal. Like, come on, man. That's crazy. That's crazy. And I think that we'd have definitely went crazy on anybody else, man. Liberty choked. They dropped the ball. Sam Houston State beat them. I want to see that Clemson score. Yes, Clemson lost to South Carolina. I definitely would have took South Carolina. I'm not saying that just because they won. I keep it a buck. That's crazy. That's crazy to me. They were down. He threw an interception. They were only down by a touchdown. And Lenora Sellers threw an interception. I think it was the Barnes. And deep in their own territory, they were on 10-yard line, about to try to punch it in. He jumped the route, got an interception. They were down by a touchdown. They showed resiliency. They came back. that is a team, a defense. And I think today they played a very tough Clemson team. That battle, they came out on top. They won. But I don't know. South Carolina creeping up in there, man. I don't think that that's good at all for any fan. I don't think that's good for anybody, man. But I don't think a 3-team SEC team is getting in there. College football teams are well put together. And I think that there's a lot of teams that deserve to be in there, that have less losses, even if they're not better skill wise or talent wise. I still think that they need to be right up in there doing what they need to do, you know what I'm saying, and holding that spot down. You feel me? Like, but yo, Ohio State taking this L, y'all. We have to talk about this. I opened up the chat, you know what I'm saying? Jump up in here because we got to talk about this Ohio State Michigan loss. What happens to the number 2 team that loses to a unranked 6-5, 4-4 Big Ten team? Like, let's take Michigan. You could say, oh, it's Michigan, but let's take Michigan from there. Let's not forget that Michigan lost to Indiana, right? Indiana lost to Ohio State in blowout fashion. Man, Ohio State dominated them. Michigan came in and beat Ohio State. Like, like that's what it's doing. But now you got to look at this team at being number 2 in the country. How far do they drop down? Like, I don't think that they drop so far out, right? But I don't think that they're playing for the Big Ten championship. They're not playing for that no more. It's going to be Oregon and Penn State. But do you let Ohio State still go to the college football playoff with this loss over Michigan? Because let's just say it was Northwestern or anybody else. I get it. It's Michigan, but Michigan is unranked. They're unranked. Shout out all my Michigan fans, man. Shout out all my Michigan fans out there, dog. I'm for real. Especially the one I know, Lawrence would have used, huge Michigan fan. Shout out my little brother, huge Big Blue fan. Like, it don't matter. To them, this it. This capped their season. This is it for Michigan fans. I told y'all early in this show, this is it for them. They're like, I don't care. Whatever we ever did, we beat Ohio State. That's it. But to talk about this and to try to put a little bit of context in this conversation here, where I want to get started, right, is where do they go? Where do we go from here with Michigan? I mean, Ohio State. Where do we go from here if we're Ohio State? Because Michigan is up on the ride. They're there, and they showed that they were right there, but they're not. But I don't know what you do with Ohio State that loses to an unranked team. I just don't know. Like, you can't knock them really out the playoff, right? But do they drop at least 5 spots? Do you put them at the number 7, number 18 right now? Does Ohio State go to number 7, number 8 right now? Like, is that fair? I mean, let's be honest, right? Especially if Penn State wins today, right? Penn State goes in there, they handle business. I think they're down right now. We just looked at the score, and they're down right now. Penn State is. Let's get a look at that score. I think it's up here somewhere. We'll find it. But Penn State wins today. You got to drop them at least 5 spots, right? I don't, I'm no expert on this, y'all. I'm no expert, but I'm saying football, by the game of knowing football and everything else, you got to drop them at least 5 spots. Do they still go to the college football playoff? Yes, I think so. Yes, because they only have 2 losses, right? They only have 2 losses, even though it came from an unranked team this late in the season. But at the same time, that's the equivalent of Ohio State losing to Cal. You know what I'm saying? Cal is 6-5 overall right now. You know what I mean? Like that. Like, we got to look at it like that. That's the number 2 team in the country, and they lost. Like, I don't think people want to talk about. I think people don't want to have that conversation because a lot of people are going to have a bias towards Ohio State and what they bring in as far as players and everything. And I get that too. But a conversation, it must be had. I mean, and it's just keeping it a buck. They lost. They lost to an unranked team. And Maryland is beating Penn State right now as we're speaking. They're getting on them. They're getting out on them. Notre Dame and USC, it's still tied 0-0 right now. Going into the 4th quarter, I knew that was going to be a dog fight. That's why I took USC in the 6.5. To be honest, that's what I did. I don't know what y'all did. Overall, I picked Notre Dame to win that game, but that's what it is. But yeah, so if Maryland beats Penn State, a lot of people will be wanting Penn State out of the conversation of being going to the college football playoff. Period. But we're not going to do the same thing for Ohio State. Yes, they got the talent. They got the players. They got the blue chip recruits. They got all of that. They're going to continue getting that. That's Ohio State. That's what they're going to do. They just lost to an unranked team that was 6-5 and 500 in the Big Ten. Let's take the M. Let's take the navy blue and gold M out of the equation. Take it out. Yes, it's Michigan. Take it out. That's the team's record. And I'm sure the committee and everybody else in every sports channel is going to be talking about this game and trying to dissect this game. I think it just has to bounce around certain scenarios and ideas of and starting a conversation on this. But there's no way. There is no way that they don't drop those 5. I don't know where they're going to drop, but I think they need to be, yes, in the top 10, but maybe not even in it. I don't know. Like, maybe not even in it, dog. I mean, that's losing the SC right now. Because if Notre Dame loses the SC, they're 10-1, right? If Notre Dame loses the SC tonight, y'all, everybody's going to say, they already said Notre Dame is out if they lose the SC. I get it. Strength of schedule. Strength of schedule. But if they lose, they're out. But Notre Dame cannot be ranked any higher than a certain seed because they don't have a conference, right? So there's that bias with Notre Dame. You know what I mean? So they can't be. Y'all get what I'm saying? I don't know exactly what it is. What the number is. I think it's 8th. It may be number 8 or something. No, they're number 5 right now. So I think they can't be no higher than a certain number because they don't have a conference that they belong to. But if they were to drop the ball versus SC, everybody says they're out right now. And that's only with 2 losses, a 10-2 team out of the college football playoff conversation. We just seen that happen with Ohio State to an unranked team with damn near with the identical record, because then SC would be 7-5 and 500 in the Big Ten. So that's damn near identical record in the Big Ten. That's what I'm saying. Like, got football. And I get it. Everybody, we all got our biases, and we're gonna go to the grave with them. We all got them. We all got our biases. We all got the way we feel on sports. And I've done a deep dive on the SEC and the Big Ten. They're always going to be that caliber because they're always going to get the top caliber players. No matter what, they're always going to get the most because they have the prestige. They have the money. And when you're a blue chip recruit, you want to go somewhere where you got prestige, money, and they got the facilities there. So you're going to pick a SEC or a Big Ten program before you would go anywhere else. And I'm starting to see that a little bit more now. But that does not mean that somebody who been at in the SEC for 2 years but did not get the proper playing time they wanted would not slide to a Big 12 or an ACC team and make the most of it. You know what I mean? That does not mean that won't happen. And the parity will continue to happen. And these teams will continue to get better because of the parity and because of the transfer portal. But look, man, I guess I want to wait, and I'm gonna wait till later to have a conversation with everybody out there, right? Because it seems to me that nobody's really ready to have these conversations right now. Y'all just rather listen to me ramble, and that's cool, and I'm fine with that. You know what I mean? But I'm going to set up a live for later on today and wait and see how things shape up the rest of this college football evening, right? Because we must talk about it. Georgia almost losing to Georgia Tech was crazy. That was a crazy game. I thought Georgia Tech should have won that game. They choked. They dropped the ball. But like I said, I did pick Georgia to win, and I took Georgia to win because they simply wanted more. And I've said that a lot of times this season. They are a team who came back to win a national trophy. They're going to get in a lot of fights like this, and I think they're going to come out on top because they want it more. Georgia wants it more than anybody at this point right now. I honestly believe that. I really do, y'all. And I know they ain't winning pretty and in blowout fashion all the time, but I just simply think they want it more than anybody else in college football right now, yo. I do. And I stand on that, and I will, and to anybody. Look, Texas Tech blew the doors off West Virginia. Baylor blew the doors off Kansas. Oh man, hey, college football is just great right now. I'm going down the list right now, y'all, to see what games are happening later on today, to see where should I place this live at, because I know this Texas and Texas A&M game is going to be crazy. So maybe I should do it after that. And maybe we'll just have a nightcap somewhere in there about 9 o'clock. That game should be over about 9, right? Yeah, about 9:30. Maybe I should do it live around then. So we could talk about this, man. We got, you know what I mean? Like I think it needs to be talked about. This day in college football is just gonna be crazy. I think more things are gonna happen around it, and it will really be able to get a big picture of the whole total and the total picture. We'll be able to see what's going on, who win, who loses in some of these other matchups. Texas A&M, Kansas State, and Iowa State. Going to the Big 12 championship. Highly regards on that right there. Does Colorado even stand a chance to go to the playoffs, even if Iowa State loses? Seeing that Kansas just blew the door. They dominated. They dominated Colorado. Call it what it is. Colorado dominates. They blew the doors off of Oklahoma State, but Kansas just got the doors blown off by a team that Colorado had beat, right? I don't know. And that it's just the way that things shape up. So where do they get placed at? We could talk about that later on. Oregon obviously is the consensus #1 team overall in the country. Washington is going to play their hearts out tonight for them because this is their college football playoff game to them right now. Texas A&M is going to play their hearts out trying to knock off Texas today. It's going to be crazy. It's just going to be a crazy night, and it's just going to be more exciting. So maybe I'll just come in at like 9, man, and we could just wrap. Like, and if not, then hey, I'll be up on here and I'll be excited to talk about it just as much as I am right now. You dig? Ohio State is trash, Cam S has said. You said nobody wants to see CU in the playoffs. Did you see how trash the offense looked yesterday? Like Cam S, I didn't see the offense looked so trash yesterday because honestly, I stopped watching the game. I had better things to do. That's why y'all not seeing me on here a lot. I'm trying to be get a schedule down, but I'm ADHD as ever, and I can't multitask for shit. But anyway, I really didn't. But I don't think nobody wants to see them in the college football playoff because I don't think that they're ready for that, even with Shedeur and Travis. Let me just keep it a buck. I'm just keeping it real. I'm not saying that CU hasn't. They had a phenomenal season. Phenomenal. They proved me wrong. I said I was wrong on many occasions about this team. This team, so resilience. They're 9-3 right now, at a chance of winning a bowl game. And like I said, we all thought that it might happen, but it's definitely going to happen now that Coach Prime Travis and Shedeur and Josh Shiloh will be playing in the bowl game. So that team will show up in the bowl game. And I like this for the simple fact, I think, Coach Prime has such a influence on a college football game that he's going to make bowl games matter again, right? Because if their whole team is going to show up and those superstars are going to show up against whomever they're playing, I guarantee you the other team superstars is going to play. And if you see that happening, that is going to get so much praise and it's going to change the game and open up so much more revenue for the players. Like the players have to be playing in that bowl game for something, right? But if you're not going to play in it, then you just don't get the incentive, right? But there's so much money that gets made upon these bowl games and with these players that I think that they need to throw a bag at these players, man. They need to start throwing a bag at these players. You know what I mean? Like, and I think you'll get more stars. But but we know Dion, Travis, Shedeur, and there are excellent businessmen when it comes to marketing themselves in the game of football and how they do it, right? And this is perfect because it's going to make bowl games matter. That bowl game is going to matter. I don't care what day it's played on. And they've always, and to me, when you plan a game against somebody else in a competition, it should matter. I don't care if it's the Kellogg's Frosted Flake Bowl, a big gold Frosted Flake. My team is playing your team in a gladiator-like sport. I want to take that Frosted Flake back to the damn school, you know what I mean, and put it up in our trophy case. How many do we get? I don't care what bowl game it is. I'm playing in it. You know what I mean? Like, and that needs to matter. That needs to matter again to these schools and to the players. I get it. You want to save your body for the NFL. I get that. But the respect for them, I honestly think when they play in this bowl game and it really don't mean nothing, that's just going to make them more likable, more draftable, taking care of their body. And it says a lot. It says a lot. It's going to say so much. I think he's starting to trend in the right direction. I think this is good for college football that they're going to play in this bowl game. I think it is. I really believe it is because they absolutely should mean something. These bowl games should mean something. It is hard to win in college football. So what? You didn't make the college football playoff. It's hard to get 6 wins. It's not easy. It's not easy getting 6 wins out here. You know what I mean? It's not easy getting a win. So you damn right. If I'm in the SEC and my team won 6 games and we're going to a bowl game, we going to the press button play bowl, I'm playing in it. You know what I mean? Playing the damn games. You said I'm a fan, but I want to see good football. I get that too. And I think we will. And I don't think, what's up, JB? What's cracking? What's up with it, JB? What's good with you? Ain't nothing, man. Just out here rapping in conversation. I think I'm gonna go. I wanted to have this conversation about open up the floor for this Ohio State loss is crazy. It's crazy, JB. This Ohio State loss to me, what do you do? I think that they should drop, realistically speaking, right? There's a side of me saying they should drop 5 to 7 spots, right? Out of the top 5 for sure. You don't keep Ohio State in the top 5, losing to an unranked team. If we take Michigan out of the equation, and this is any other Big Ten team that beats them, possibly you take them out of it. Because there is other teams that deserve it. But if Notre Dame loses to SC, which has the same, almost this equivalence of Michigan's record, they're out of it. A 10-2 team. So, that's where I was trying to get this start. Like, do you just take them completely out? I don't know. But you say, JB says, ooh, shit. I haven't even seen this. Damn, they lost. Definitely out of the top. Yeah, they lost. They out. Yeah, they lost, JB. It's a wrap. They lost. Ohio State lost. Done data. Done deal. It's a wrap. It is a wrap. They got to get knocked out of the top 5. But where do we put? You got to put them what? 10? They just lost to an unranked team, y'all. Unranked. I know this is Ohio State. And that's another thing, like Indiana versus Oregon. Who and the Big Ten. I forgot about them. But Penn State also is up there too, though, right? So I don't know if it's going to be who's going to play in it. I think it might be Penn State and Oregon at this point, JB, to be honest. Penn State, did they take a L? I don't think they did. I don't think Penn State took a L. But that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't really think that. Yeah, Penn State, they took the L to Ohio State. So they took the L. I can't remember who they lost to, but they did. They did take an L Oregon is the only undefeated team. I don't know where you go from there because Penn State's struggling with Maryland right now. Maryland is playing them up right now. Penn State has the ball, but I don't know how that might turn out. I just don't know. Notre Dame scored right now. Miami's up by 2 touchdowns. I'm glad for that happening. If Alabama keep playing with Auburn, they're going to lose that game. If they keep playing around, they're going to lose. And you got to take, I don't know. You got to take Ohio State out. But what I will say, JB, is that I'm going to set up a live for later so that when all these games are over and done with, and we can get a better picture of what the college playoff may look like, just us speculating and having conversation. Just having conversation about what's going to transpire, because we still got to see Texas play Texas A&M at 7:30. We still got to see Iowa State play Kansas State. That's another 7:30 game. In the games that are on today, right now, we don't know what's going to happen in these games. So I'm going to do a late show today. I'm going to do a late live today, and because it must be had. And I want to hear what everybody has to say. I want to hear what everybody has to say. No opinion, nobody's opinion is ever excluded, right? From any conversation. Nothing said is ever dumb. People may laugh, get a chuckle out of it, whatever, but it's not dumb, because there's a lot of scenarios that we've seen in college football this year that has been crazy. We've seen a lot of crazy things happen. So I don't think anything that anybody could be saying right now about college football can be so far-fetched, to be honest. I just don't think so. But I'll be opening up the floor later on today for a live panel, because it must be had. This conversation must be had. It's overdue, and we'll be able to see what's going on with the college football playoff. You know what I'm saying? We'll definitely be able to see and speculate upon some things and talk about the teams that we don't want in there and everything else. You know, it's crazy. It's crazy to me. That's crazy. But right now, shout out to all the Michigan fans. Their season's over. Their bowl game they'll play in, but all is forgiven today. I'm telling y'all, because I know this is for a fact. If you don't believe me, ask my man Lawrence What are you one more time. Shout out to him one more time, because they beat Ohio State. It is what it is. It is what it is. But make sure y'all set y'all notification bells, hit the like button, share it, because we'll be back here a couple hours to definitely chop it up about today and what we're seeing right now and some of the things we saw yesterday. All right. Peace.